This is part 2 on getting ready for a model horse show. So in the first video we talked about breeds and a little bit about what different classes there are, so forth, things like that. Now after you determined what horses you want to show and you want to get your book ready to go for your show and you need to get your reference photos. So the first thing that I like to do is I like to make what I call a reference sheet. Okay, this is a little bit different compared to like a normal reference sheet. This is a reference sheet that has a picture of the model. You can have name, breed, other breeds. So like your first breed would be, let's say, the breed that you've shown the most and has placed many times. You would put that there. And other breeds is going to be breeds that you've shown the model before. Maybe they placed, maybe they didn't. Generally, I only put the breeds that have placed in this spot. And then you put the color, the sex, you know, mare, gelding, stallion. Then I have size. I have TD, which stands for traditional, SM, which is stablemate, SL, which is classic, and OT, which is other. Then media, which is either CM, which is custom, or OF, meaning original finish. Then there's show placings. Then I have all these little lines in here to show. Then you put like first place, and then you can put NAN if you're going to an NAN show and receive a card for that. And then you just fill these up, and then you have a nice little sheet that you can put in your book. And when you need to get ready for your next show, you say, oh, okay, this horse has shown this before. I will try that. And you know the horse's name, you know what the horse is placed as in the previous shows, so forth, things like that. And then you're all ready to go, and it's much easier to do your cards when you have to put the info down. Now, the next thing you're going to need to do is you're going to need your breed sheets. These are sheets that you put in front of your model that you may want to represent as either a color or, you know, whatever. So, like, let me see here. I need an example. Let me get the old. Okay, so one show I went to a while back is something like this. You get a sheet like this, okay? And, of course, it says Spanish breeds. Here, let me zoom up. Okay, so it says Spanish breeds. Then it says Andalusians, Les Latinos, Gaited Spanish, Spanish Mustangs, other pure part, or then champion, and then reserve champion. And then, you know, or the revision, or the division champion is this whole thing, and then this is like, I believe the first two classes, I think. I don't know. I'll have to look over that again. So anyways, when you're looking at your Spanish breeds, you say, okay, well, he's going to be an Andalusian, and I want to have a sheet there. But the best one that I have for this, let's see here, Westbriar, okay. The best one that I like is the sport and carriage breeds, because this is, see how it says European warm bloods? You want to have a sheet for this. You just can't put them in European warm bloods and not give them a breed. This is not a breed. This is like a group of horses. So this would be considered a warm blood, warm blood, warm blood. These are all different types of warm bloods. Okay, so when you put them in a warm blood class, you need to make sure that you give them a breed. So with the European warm bloods, I would put my model, and then I'd say, okay, he's going to be a Dutch warm blood. Okay, and then you put your model up here. And then you'd have your reference sheet below with your card. And the judge would come over and say, okay, well, let's see the confirmation of this horse. Okay, it matches the breed, all right. Height, okay, yep, all right, colors. So it's kind of like a little cheat sheet for the judge. And sometimes this can be really good. It can give you an advantage, especially when you're doing like some of the rare breeds, like the American Cream Draft, which I was telling you about. That I was showing my Christmas model as, because then generally, you know, you have a sheet and all that, but, and then, you know, you have, you can have something like this, you know, you have a picture, and you have all your information, confirmation, height, color, temperament. You don't have to have a lot of this stuff. Just have color, and then confirmation. And generally that's pretty good. You can have height if you want to, but it's not super important because they're not really judging that with the models because, you know, they just don't. And you always want to have a picture. Doesn't have to be the exact picture of your model, but just represent it as, unless you have a horse that you specifically painted to that certain mold. And then you want to have that exact picture, but generally you don't have to. Once you get your horses determined and you start getting your little sheets out, you take a picture of your models. Make sure that you take a flat side of the picture. Don't take any odd pictures or anything. Reason being is that if the model is ever stolen or accidentally picked up by accident and somebody's claiming that it's theirs, you can have a sheet that says, nope, this is my horse, this is my proven horse, things like that. And it's always good because I've had one person before me accidentally pick up my model, and it was mine to begin with, and we picked up the two different models. She picked up mine and I picked up hers, and she thought hers won the grand champion, which didn't. So it's always good to have a couple of pictures, you know, one of the sides, you know, like her, you know, you have paint markings and such, so you can totally confirm that it's your horse, but original finished models are a little bit tougher. Now, when you're setting up your book, okay, now before I used to do things like this, big picture, name, gender, mold, scale, stuff like this. But the thing is that this takes up a lot of ink compared to this, which you have a little photo and then just black. Black is easy to replace because I know how much color ink is. So now once you get that done, the next thing you're going to want to do is you're going to pull out your class sheet. You're going to go through your class sheet. You're going to say, okay, well, what horses can I show my classes? Of course, I had a lot of stock breeds, quarter horses, things like that. Appaloosas, paint, Mustangs, things in there. And you go through and you say, okay, well, I could have 3 horses per class. You write out your horse's name in the little boxes or whatever, how you want to do it. And you go through the whole sheet, and you put everybody down, and then you double check again. Then you go back and you come over here. So like, I don't think I have a lot of these horses anymore, but I'll do it anyways. Okay, so we come over here and we say, okay, well, we're going to look at some of these horses. Let's do the Arab class. Okay, so RH Musketeer. That is this little guy up here. It's represented as my real horse. You can see him there. So I say, okay, well, all right, he's in the Arab class. That's good. And then we go Eye of the Storm, which was the little black horse next to him. And then Where Your Future Begins would be this Arab. Oh, wait, no, not him. No, that's not him. Oh, it's, where is he? Where'd he go? Oh, I don't know. Oh, there he is. Right there. Okay. So that, you know, you determine, you know, okay, so I have all my horses in the class, that's where they're supposed to be. And then you do the part Arabs, and you keep going down the list, making sure all your horses are in the right class, and so forth, things like that. And you can go over this many times to double check, because I've gone over it 3 times, and then when I got to the show, I determined that I put a horse in the wrong class. Even though I went through it 3 times, it was not correct in some parts, and it was just like, oh gosh. So of course, you know, that can be really hectic when you have people screaming out classes and horses are being moved like crazy and you're trying to get them in and out, you know, all that. So it can be very crazy at shows and such, but you know, it's always good just to double check, have everything organized, and then once you're done with the class, either cross it out or you know, mark it, something like that. Like here, I took an outliner and I marked the classes that I had horses in here. Let's see here. I didn't do that with every one of them because I think I lost the marker. But generally you do this to let you know, okay, well, here's the classes that I'm in. And you have to make sure that you're paying attention closely to the person that's calling out classes. They'll say, class sport/carriage breed is now in session. Class 29 custom American solid warm bloods, please bring up your horses. So you bring up your horses, you place them on the table, and then the judge will come around. Generally it takes about anywhere from 15 to 20 minutes or more, depending on how big the class is, to call the class. And then they'll say, okay, class 29 custom American solid warm bloods are now pinned, please bring up pick up your horses. And you pick up your horses, and then the next class they'll call is the same thing. You know, they'll say class 30 custom American paint or patterned warm bloods, and then you bring up those horses into the same thing, and you keep going until you go all the way down here. And then you get custom division champion and then custom reserve division champion. So they will pick out the 2 horses that they feel are the best. So you bring up all the horses that have won first and second place. The first place winners will be picked for the division champion, meaning the grand ribbon. And then the people who have won a second place ribbon will get a custom reverse division champion. Now this is just for custom classes, but it would be reverse division champion. It's the same thing with like this ribbon here. Okay. Whew, okay. This ribbon here, see it says reverse division champion. Okay. Or reserve, I'm sorry, reserve division champion. I don't know why I keep saying that. But anyways, it's reserve division champion. And so he won a second place. And I put him up with all the other horses that have won in first and second places. And then the judge decided that he was going to win the second place. This guy here, this is him. He's won a lot of awards. And he is one of my top show horses. He has won me nonstop out of every single class that I put him in. He's just taken the show ring. I mean, it's just incredible. He's a great show horse. I don't plan on ever getting rid of him. He is my baby. Same with him. He's done great. First time I showed him, he did horribly. Did not place at all. Now he's placing first and seconds, and he's just doing great. Same thing with her. She placed a second. At her first ever show, and she keeps placing every single time I show her, so she's staying the show string. So, you know, once you get all that information down, you get all your pictures, then generally you're ready to go for the show. And once you get to the show is another big thing, so we will talk about that on the next video.